There we go. Can you see me? Okay, I'm struggling. I'm trying to figure this out. I don't know why. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Nice to see you. You have a question? Go ahead, ask your question. I'm Coach Nee Renee. I'm a narcissistic abuse relationship recovery coach. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know what it's like going on over here. I don't know what's going on Instagram. So let me figure out how to get Instagram going. But double tap the screen, double tap the screen. Let's get some more people in here. If you guys can see me on Facebook, on YouTube, I'm trying to figure out how to get Instagram going. So give me 1 second on that. But if you have a question, go ahead and ask your question and let's get this live going. Good morning. It is Friday morning. How are we feeling on this Friday morning? How are we feeling? What's going on in our world today? My ex narcissistic girlfriend went on vacation with her kids and came back with a purple contusion. Uh-oh. That's not good. Did she? Oh, on her. Did she? Oh, my ex nurse. Okay, so the question is, why do you care about that? That's my question. Um. Okay. Why isn't it letting me go live? Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out Instagram in a second. Anyway, so good morning. Oh my goodness. You're leaving for that's amazing. Tell me more about that. Okay, so for those of you who can't see, um, I am currently live on Facebook and YouTube, and I'm trying to get Instagram on here. And I'm also on TikTok as well. So they said, good morning, leaving for Da Nang, Vietnam on Saturday. Thanks to you. Thank you. I want to know more about that. Tell me more about that. I want to know what's going on. But just so you guys know that are in here, I am hosting a webinar on May the 31st at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And it's called Rise Gently. And we're working on healing and repairing that relationship with yourself, how to rise after narcissistic relationships. And I want you guys to join me on my webinar. It's $27. You get a chance to talk to me, see what's going on, and you get a journal, you get 10% off a coaching program. So I think it's super beneficial. You guys should totally join me. Go to the link in my bio. It's in my link tree, and you will get me. Hi, Lisa. That's Lisa. Lisa Stronger Than Before. Lisa is absolutely incredible. She is one of my mentors. She holds such a special place in my heart. She's an amazing coach. She is, if you ever are stuck in a trauma bond, you don't understand a trauma bond, you don't know what's going on, and you're caught up in a trauma bond, Lisa Stronger Than Before, she is going to get you taken care of. Okay. She is going to get you taken care of. So she's the one you want to see. Yes, you guys, please come to my event. I am hosting a webinar. I'm trying to get the link for that now in the chat over on YouTube and Facebook. But you guys can come to my webinar. Hi, come to my webinar. It's called Rise Gently. We're working on techniques on how to rise after abusive relationships with a narcissist. And it's working on healing and repairing that relationship that you have with yourself. So those of you guys that are watching me up here and you see me look down, it's because I'm also live on TikTok. So I'm live on TikTok right now. I'm live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So I am working on getting the link to the webinar so that you guys can check it out and be able to come join me on my webinar, because it's going to be amazing. When you come to my webinars, it's a free environment. It's a place where you get to have a safe space and work through the things that you didn't realize that you were navigating. And when you are able to acknowledge and accept where you are in your situation, it allows you to get that much closer to radical self-trust. So the things that I talk about, and my favorite thing I like to talk about is the 3 S's. The 3 S's are so important on your healing journey. And those 3 S's are self-awareness, self-love, and self-care. Those 3 S's are so important. When you talk about self-awareness means that you are aware of who you are, and what you're feeling at 24/7. You are aware of what's going on. You are aware of how you feel, what's going on in your body when you're around certain people, when you are navigating new relationships, when you are talking to people and you see how they make you feel. That is a part of self-awareness. But self-awareness is also acknowledging what it is that you're experiencing, what you're feeling. You have to feel your feelings, and feeling your feelings can be really hard. It can be really hard, but you have to do it. Self-awareness is so important. I've got 2 out of 3. The self-love part I'm tackling in Vietnam. I'm so proud of you, Wanda. I want to know more about Vietnam. I want to know more about you transitioning to Vietnam. I think that's so amazing. Give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. I'm still trying to get the link. You guys on TikTok, you guys can get the link in my bio. If you go to my link tree, it's literally the first banner on my link tree to register for my webinar. It's only $27. You walk away. Even if you can't make it, you'll get free playback. You'll get a playback. You'll get 10% off of coaching with me. You'll also get a journal, and you'll get a Q&A. We'll get a chance to talk. You'll get to see my processes and how I work, and exactly how to heal and repair that relationship with yourself. So give me 1 second, because I know that I just keep rambling on and on. I'm trying to get the link up because I'm on StreamYard. I'm streaming on another platform right now to other platforms. So I'm trying to get the link for, there it is. Okay, so now I can put it in the chat. There it goes. You guys can check it out in the chat. You'll be able to see it in the chat, and I'm hosting a free webinar. I want you guys to join me. So start asking me some questions. Let's get some questions going. How are we feeling? Where are we at in our healing journey right now? What do you think the hardest part of your healing journey is? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. I'm monitoring all the comments on Instagram, and I am monitoring all the comments on Facebook and YouTube. So let me know in the chat where you guys feel like you're at in your healing journey, and how do you feel like you're having a hard time right now? Where do you think you're stuck at? What's the hardest part of your healing journey? Talk to me. 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 Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Let me see. Hold on. Let me do this so I can get these two next to each other. There we go. Okay, so now I can see the comments on Instagram. I can see the comments everywhere. So now like I said, I am currently live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So I am live on all of the places. But let's ask your questions. Let's do a Q&A. Where are you guys at right now? What questions do you have for me? What questions can I answer? And maybe you'll be able to get those questions answered when you come to my webinar on May the 31st. It's at the link in my bio. It's in my link tree. You guys can see it over here. You guys can see it, the link in the comments. Yeah. What are your questions? What do we want to talk about today? What are we talking about? Because the thing that I love the most to talk about is healing and repairing that relationship with yourself. That's the thing that I talk about the most. The thing that gets me so motivated and ready to work with people is healing that relationship that you have with yourself, because you feel betrayed. Sometimes you feel like you betrayed yourself, right? You feel like you've betrayed your internal trust system that you have with yourself when you move through these relationships with narcissistic and toxic and abusive people. And so the thing that I focus on, and I think the thing that makes me the most different and sets me out to be the most different than my counterparts, is I actually talk about you. I don't talk about the narcissist. I don't talk about the things that they've done. I don't talk about, well, we do talk about the things that they've done, but we talk about it in the context of how can you heal. Let me put this one up. Let's see. We have a question from Facebook that says, how to be near the narcissist when it gives you anxiety. I have to be near this person so I don't miss out on family gatherings. So what you do for that is you remind yourself that you are in a safe space. You have full control over being around them. And if you have to be around them, if you have to be around them for family's sake, have a safe space, have a safe person if you can. Have a safe person with you, or someone that you can text or talk to that knows that you have to be in those situations. And so that might help a little bit alleviate some of your anxiety. Let's see. I don't see any questions on Instagram right now. I don't see anything on TikTok. So yeah, so keep tapping the screen, keep your questions and your comments coming in, and let's talk about it. I love the questions that I get about um, how do you navigate certain situations. I think those are my favorite questions. Do we turn into a narc from being around them? The answer to that question is no. You have the ability to. Sometimes, good morning on Instagram. I see you guys. Good morning. I am sorry, I got distracted. There's so many things coming in right now. Okay, so do we turn into a narc from being around them? The answer is no. You don't turn into a narcissist from being around them, but you can pick up on their toxic traits. You can pick up on some of their behaviors. I experienced that with my mom. I was in a very toxic, abusive environment growing up. Hi from Australia. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining my live. I think it's important to acknowledge that we may pick up on certain behaviors. Sometimes we tend to gaslight ourselves when we are out of these relationships. Sometimes we tend to reproduce those behaviors. So I think it's important to give yourself some grace. Like, it took me a while to not be so controlling. I used to have a lot of control issues because I was afraid of certain reactions, and I had to realize that I was safe, and I had to realize that I was not in a relationship with someone that was actively trying to cause me harm. So no, to answer your question, no, you don't turn into a narcissist from being around them, but you can pick up on certain behaviors from being around them. So that's a good question. What other questions do we have? Ugh, I hate when I get spam. Hold on. I hate when I get those spam comments. Like, no, we don't want to go somewhere else to spy on someone. Anyway, so more questions. Hi, nice to see you. Welcome. I do apologize. There's a lot going on. I'm on I can see 3 different screens right now. So, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Welcome to my live. You guys are doing amazing this morning. Happy Friday. So do you guys, I need you guys, all of you guys. Let's see how many people are in here right now. There's a lot of people in here right now. I need you guys to register for my webinar that I am hosting. I just put the link in the chat that why does it look like that? I don't think that's right. Hold on. I don't know why it looks like that. Let's see. There we go. I don't know what it was doing. Okay. I just put the link in the chat, but if you guys are following along from TikTok and on TikTok, you guys can go to the link in my bio, go to my link tree. It is the very first option to select and register for my webinar. I'm hosting a webinar on May the 31st. It's called Rise Gently. We are talking about how to rise from having relationships with narcissists. So how do we rise, right? How do we which is okay, so I have 3 phases that I like to work on in my coaching program. I have a coaching program. Those of you that are new here, I'm Coach Nia Renee. I'm a narcissistic abuse relationship recovery coach. I help abuse survivors break free from emotional wounds and build thriving relationships rooted in self-trust and intention. And I am hosting a webinar, a live webinar next Saturday, May 31st, called Rise Gently. And what we're talking about is how to rise and heal from abusive relationships with narcissistic people and how to navigate handling life after. So even if you are stuck with one, even if you are in a relationship with someone right now that is causing you this type of pain, I want you guys to join me for my webinar so that we can talk about it. We can work on it. We can navigate it together. You don't have to do it alone. So check out the link in my bio, or if you guys are on Facebook and YouTube, you can see the link in the comments and you guys can register for my webinar. What other questions do we have this morning? Go ahead and get your questions out. Let's get some more Q&A going. Like I said, I'm live on 4 platforms right now. So I'm live on TikTok, I'm live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I think one of the biggest things that we struggle with in our healing journey is feeling like we can't trust ourselves, is feeling like we can't trust the decisions that we make. It's feeling like we can't trust the relationships that we have around us. And that can be really difficult to navigate. And we feel that way because we feel like when we had to make certain decisions in these relationships, we feel like we betrayed ourselves in the process. And that's what makes it harder, is feeling like you betrayed yourself. Had you guys ever feel like you betrayed yourself? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments if you feel like you've betrayed yourself, if you feel like you have fractured that relationship with yourself. Let me know in the comments if you feel like you've lost yourself in the process. So true. Okay, thank you on Facebook. Let me know in the comments, because when we get in these relationships, we lose ourselves. We don't know who we are anymore. We are on this journey of healing and we can't figure out how to navigate that, right? Some of us struggle with figuring out how to navigate the relationship that we have with ourselves during the relationship. I was in a relationship for a long time with someone that I knew was not good for me. Thank you. I'm doing well. It's also Nia Renee. This is what I want everybody to understand. My name is Nia Renee. That's not my last name. That is my first name. Nia Renee is my first name. But thank you. I hope you're having a good day as well. Welcome to the chat. So I was in a relationship. Oh, wait, we have a comment before I move on. I have difficulty trusting myself to make new friends or trust family members I want to be closer to. Ooh, okay. So why do you feel like you have a hard time doing that? What causes you to feel that way? I was in a relationship for almost 2 years with someone who love bombed me so very hard in the beginning. I was young. I had a lot of trauma. I wanted to be loved so badly. And every time he did something, I had this gut feeling. It was like a boom feeling in my gut that wasn't right. Like something wasn't right. And every single time I ignored that, I betrayed myself. Single time I ignored those feelings, I lost myself. Every single time I ignored that, a piece of me floated away in the distance because I because I was betraying myself, because I wasn't trusting the things that I wasn't trusting the way my body was feeling. I was so afraid to be alone. I think that's the biggest piece, is feeling afraid of being alone. And sometimes when we are so scared to be alone, we don't, what's the word I'm looking for? We ignore our instincts because we're afraid that we're not going to find anyone better than what we have. That is the hardest part about these relationships, is because when you start to feel alone and you don't want to be alone, you don't want to be lonely, you don't want to sit in the pain of it all. We sometimes just do things to keep the peace. And every time we do things to keep the peace, we do things to lose a piece of ourselves. And this is what we're going to talk about in my live webinar on May 31st. So if you guys haven't registered, again, click the link in my bio. I put the link in the chat. If you go to my link tree in my bio, you can register for my webinar next Saturday, May 31st at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Register for my webinar. We're going to talk about all of this. We're going to talk about how to rise again after being stuck in these relationships and how to trust yourself again. But I don't want to miss this comment. They said, I feel like they take advantage of me. If you feel like they will take advantage of you, you have to take a step back and look at the relationship that you have with yourself and acknowledge where you're at in the relationship with yourself. Thank you. I am a phoenix. I also have a phoenix tattooed on my arm. And phoenix is a part of my coaching modality. I have the second phase of my coaching modality is called the Phoenix Rising, and it's one of my favorite phases. Hi, Nia. It's Nia Renee, guys. Just so we're aware, my name is Nia Renee. My last relationship was very narcissistic to the point of developing a disability. I'm so sorry, Anessa, that you endured that. I can understand how that happens, because the longer we stay in these relationships with people, the longer we stay in the relationship with people that are sucking the life out of us, it literally can suck the life out of us and cause us to be sick. And so again, that's where we need to pay attention to what our body is telling us. Our body is trying to give us those warning signs. But how do you lean into that? How do you navigate through that? How do you focus on that? How do you trust that, right? How do you trust that when you have no tangible proof that it's going to work? So that's what I'm going to talk about in my webinar on the 31st. Any more questions? Let's keep the questions coming in. I love the questions. I love the comments. I can see you guys on Instagram. I can see you guys on Facebook and YouTube. I see you guys on TikTok. Okay, so the comment coming in on TikTok. I can't regulate my emotions after the narcissistic abuse. I always want to cry. So Crystal, if you always want to cry, and this is for everybody, if you want to cry, if you need to cry, cry. You got to cry. Your body's trying to regulate your emotions, so you have to allow yourself to feel. That's the first phase in my coaching methodology, in my coaching program. Acknowledging and accepting. You have to acknowledge and accept exactly where you are and feel the feelings where you are at. You have to do that, or else you're not going to completely regulate your emotions. Oh, Anessa. So Anessa said, it's okay. Nia Renee, it's okay. I appreciate you clarifying that. It's called gastroparesis. I'm currently trying to spread awareness. Yeah, I think it's important to realize that sometimes our bodies will manifest autoimmune diseases. Our bodies will manifest different types of disorders when we are in these types of relationships, because our body cannot handle the amount of trauma that we're being subjected to. So that's a thing to keep in mind when you're in these relationships. It literally can suck the life out of you. Crystal, back to you. You allow yourself to cry. If you need to cry, cry. It's okay to let yourself feel the emotions that you're feeling. It is okay to acknowledge that you are sad or that you are hurting or that you are going through a tough time. That's the hardest part about it, is because sometimes we don't want to sit in those emotions. We don't want to sit in those feelings. We don't want to sit in how it feels, but we have to, or else we're not going to be able to move through it. Does that make sense? You can't regulate your emotions because your body is trying to learn how to regulate your emotions. And in order to regulate your emotions, you now have to allow yourself to cry. You now have to allow yourself to feel the emotions. You now have to allow yourself to feel what it's like to go through that process. Anessa says, I was actually 17. Oh, wow. When I first came across your page, I'm 22 now. Thank you for your content. Wow. So you've been a battered heart for a long time. Yay. I love that for you. I mean, I don't love that for you because I don't like that you are experiencing this, but I'm glad that you've been able to find community with me and here. And that's what I work so hard to do, is to build a community for everyone to feel seen and heard and safe, and like they have a space where they can nurture and grow and eventually leave me. I had someone, which I'm going to do a video on a little bit later today, I had someone leave a comment that said that they'd been following me for quite some time, and they were leaving now. It was time for us to part ways. And that's the point. At some point, we're going to have to part ways. At some point, we're going to get to a place where you are in a healthier place, where you are in a much different place, where you are in a space where you've healed enough to where you can let go of watching my content. You can let go from seeking out my support in certain ways. And so eventually that's where you're supposed to get to. And I loved that. So it makes me so happy when I see longtime supporters get to a place where they can move forward. So those of you guys that are watching, again, I'm Coach Nia Renee. I'm a narcissistic abuse relationship recovery coach. I help abuse survivors break free from emotional wounds and build thriving relationships rooted in self-trust and intention. So I want you guys all, if you guys can, please check out the link in my bio. Go to my link tree. I am hosting a webinar on May 31st. It's called Rise Gently. We're talking about how to heal and repair that relationship that you have with yourself, how to do it gently, how to get to a place where you can trust your emotions and trust what your body is trying to tell you and trust where it's going to take you. And so I want you guys to join me. Check out the link in my bio or the link in the comment section on YouTube and Facebook. And I want you guys to be able to join a community of people where you get a chance to meet other people. A lot of times when we do these events, I do a lot of events with, hello, Mike, nice to see you. Sometimes I do a lot of events with mental illness. Lee Hammock, I do a lot of events with him. But every time we do these events, you get a chance to build a community. You get a chance to have your own group of people that understand what you're going through and understand how to build a community. Okay, Mike, you need somebody to talk to. What's up? We've got a comment over here on Facebook. Let me put it up on the screen. You guys can't see it on TikTok, but I need somebody to talk to. Okay, I can help. What are your questions? We're kind of doing sort of a Q&A right now. So you guys feel free on Instagram and TikTok. Feel free to continue typing in your questions and your comments, and let's keep the conversation going. But if you guys are looking for your transformation, if you're looking to heal, if you're looking to be on the healing journey, if you're looking to build connections with other battered hearts that are able to help you and support you in your journey. I've had people become best friends, that they've met their best friends in these groups and the webinars that I host or the workshops that I host. And so if you guys can join me on my webinar, please join me on my webinar. The link is in my bio. And yeah, register at the link in my bio or in the comments section if you're on Facebook and YouTube. Hey, beautiful. You helped me leave a toxic relationship watching all of your videos. Oh, angelic shy. I'm so glad I was able to help you leave. So I think you might be in the second phase of my coaching modality, which is Phoenix Rising, understanding who you are after an abusive relationship. Would you say that's where you are right now? Mike said, I feel the world is on my shoulders. I feel that way too, Mike. What's going on? Do you have a specific question you would like me to answer? And I can absolutely do that for you. Phoenix Rising. Yes. So I have 3 phases in my coaching modality. The first one is called Ethereal Awakening, which is the mind. It's where we walk through the journey of what you've endured together, and you really get an opportunity to acknowledge and accept where you're at in your healing journey. That is the most crucial part. It's a part of self-awareness, the 3 S's that I brought up earlier. Being self-aware to know where exactly you are at in the healing process. Oh. Sorry, give me 1 second. Oh, okay. I have to hop off. But if you guys could, please. Someone said make an audible book. I can listen to your voice all day. Well, check out my podcast. I have a podcast that's out. It's called Battered Hearts Radio on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. But please, you guys, register for my webinar. I'd love to see you guys at my webinar at the link in my bio on my link tree or in the comment section. I'll toss the link in here one more time before I go. And I want you guys to drink some water, get some rest, and don't let nobody's dusty ass child treat you any kind of way. I love you, Battered Hearts.